Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you, and great to have you along. And we're joined today by swim coach Max Piper. And kind of hard to talk swimming when freezing weather's coming in, right?
Yeah.
But swim season is in winter because hey, the swimming happens indoors. And I want to start it off saying congratulations, some great showings down there at the conference championship.
Yeah, we did great yesterday at conference. I was very impressed with our swim team. I didn't know what to expect going into conference. There's a lot of schools that we haven't swam against that I haven't coached that we swam against yesterday, and we boys got second, girls got first, and overall we finished with the most points. So I was very impressed with our team yesterday.
Yeah, and just swimming good on the right day, or
Yep.
is this just kind of an accumulation of all the work you put in? And talk about what that does as far as confidence goes further into the season, because we'll be at regionals and all that before we know it.
No, it definitely brings the confidence up a lot for, I think, the team and me as the coach, just because we've had a few meets recently that we haven't won. We've gotten second at a lot of the meets we've had recently, just because we've been swimming against really big teams and just teams that have a lot more kids than we do, which is, it's hard to win those sometimes. But winning this and just seeing that we have, like, probably the biggest team in our conference was really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, when you look around at it, are you maybe a little surprised of how well you've been performing? I mean, is it maybe even outperformed? Coaches have expectations. Usually they're high expectations, but coming in first year, did maybe outperforming even your expectations?
Yeah, honestly, the team has outperformed my expectations by a lot this year. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect coming in. I mean, I wasn't sure how many kids we were going to end up with, how well some of the new kids that we just got were going to do. I mean, I really had no idea what I was getting into, and just seeing that we have been able to still win meets and win conference in it's a very rebuilding year for us, just because it's a lot of new kids and not a ton of kids that are seniors or like upperclassmen on the team that have been doing it for a really long time. So seeing that on a rebuilding year we can still do that kind of stuff has been very good for us.
All right, last time we talked, we were talking about you starting getting things going. Now we're in the midst of the season, so I always like to ask this again. What have you learned personally since the start of this season, and how are you adapting and being a new coach?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned since coaching, especially since we talked last time, is that not everything is, sunshine. Not everything is always great. Like, there's going to be tough days, tough practices, and, things are going to happen that aren't great. Like, we'll have a tough meet, and, practice might not be fun. The kids might not be super happy with me one day just because, I've got to make it hard. I mean, that's just part of it. And just seeing that even though, they might leave practice mad at me one day, the next day they all come back and we're still a good team. We're still, we have that family, and, there's no hard feelings anywhere.
I've never known a coach that was good that the players didn't like them at some point, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, you have to do that because you're pushing, trying to get more out of them, more than even sometimes they expect of themselves.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the thing to kind of settle in is once you have that relationship, everybody knows you're going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Once you establish that relationship, you can push them. And it's also the totality of things. There's going to be bad days, but the totality of it's mostly good.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, I got to ask this because it's not all sports, but I think swimming, it's one of those, unlike maybe the other sports like basketball, wrestling going on, where you can miss maybe a few days and you can come out there and you're feeling pretty good. It's like, okay, we're okay. With the weather that's coming in, when it comes to swimming, because it's so important to stay in that shape, and we're talking about sometimes, fractions of seconds being the difference in placing. How hard is it? And you're about to learn this, so I guess I could ask you again later, but balancing when you may have, extended time off, because coming up we got major winter storm, but then we have a weekend kind of in between that, and it may not impact up here. It may impact. We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. But how do you balance that, knowing that you may lose valuable days that could help you prepare for the future? I know everybody else in the state may be losing that too, but still, those are something that can maybe hurt somebody as far as their time coming up at the next meet, right?
Yeah, I think just the way I see it is if they cancel school or if they, might even cancel some meets coming up, no matter if they cancel them or not, like I'm still going to make sure that even if our pool is closed, they are still doing something. I will send out something, where I might make a at-home workout that they need to do that will focus, maybe their core or something that's they're going to be using swimming wise. Just because I know that a lot of those other teams might not be doing that, and if they're also canceled and they can't get in the water and swim, we're getting that leg up, still getting in a little bit of work, even though it might not be in the pool or it might not be specifically swimming related, but they're still bettering themselves in some way athletically. So we might be able to get that leg up and still be working.
We bring up something with not just the winter weather, but also, and like I said, swimming's always during the winter season, so you're going to have to figure out how to balance this if you're a coach. But you brought up, workouts outside the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about maybe the importance of that and them being able, like their core, like their arm strength, their leg strength, and the stuff that they have to do, not just in the pool, but outside of the pool to be elite.
Yeah. In the pool and swimming, it's not just in the water, and that's just the sheer facts of it. Is if you really want to get your times better, if you want to swim better, getting in the gym is super important, whether that be lifting, doing cardio that isn't swimming. I know that cross-training, running and swimming can be super beneficial, or even cycling. Most of our swimmers will lift 3 to 4 days a week. We'll practice for our 2 hours, and then we'll go upstairs at the Recplex and we'll get in some weightlifting. I'll make specific workouts for chest, back, core, a lot of those really important parts of our body that we use for swimming, just because swimming is really going to lean us down and build those muscles, but getting the actual lifting part of it is really going to increase our muscle mass a lot more than just swimming would.
In high school, I know you focus a lot on the basics, but like I just like elite swimmers, is there a difference in how maybe the distance swimmers work out compared to the sprint swimmers?
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you just were saying watching the Olympics, if you look at the guys that are swimming the mile compared to the guys that are swimming the 50 freestyle or the 100s, the guys that are doing these sprints, they're pretty big guys. Right. I mean, they've got the muscles. They look jacked. But then you look at those guys that are swimming, like a mile, and they're a lot more lanky, maybe tall, slimmer. They work a lot more of the endurance and the leanness of it. When sprinters, they need those muscles to really just be fast and powerful for a short distance.
Yeah, on the men's side, you think about Michael Phelps, right?
Yeah.
And then I think on the women's side with distance, you think of Katie Ledecky.
Yep.
Right? I mean, those are kind of the ones I think our generation kind of migrates to as of right now, correct?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And they're both tall, lanky, not, super jacked, just more slim. And they're great at those distance races. Yeah. They really are.
All right. You got the conference championship and the second, so, I mean, it's been really going good with your girls and boys team. Now, after that and what you saw there, what are kind of your expectations as we get closer and closer to postseason that will be here in those regionals? Like, what are your goals? I mean, I'm sure you got lofty goals of where you want to be at the end of the year. What are those?
Yeah, I think goals right now are just really doing really good at regionals. I want us to have both relays go into regionals and a solid amount of seniors and just like our star swimmers that are placing at regionals, getting that top 24, and then having that really solid team at state and bringing that solid team to state, and then hopefully getting that placement at state, because I would love to bring home some titles. Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome.
And when is regionals? Have you got your assignment yet on that?
Yeah, so regionals is February 7th, and that's at Jinx. So I'm not sure time-wise. I'm probably going to be in the morning, but we've got a couple weeks to prepare for it, and we've got one meet in between. So we're going to really hit the ground running this week and next week with some tougher practices, getting ramped up for that.
You got the one meet left, is home or away meet?
Away meet.
Away meet.
Yeah, we've got one more regular meet in Edmond.
And I just to remind people, I mean, you may not be able to do it this year, but if you get a chance to go to a swim meet, like a lot of people don't put them in their sports echelon as things that, that there's more exciting swim meets can be really, really exciting.
Yes, they can.
Because I mean, it's a sprint, and if you got, you got somebody in the fight, and if you're a Ponca City, you're going to have your kids. You're really sitting there saying, and sometimes once again, it's a matter of inches and just fractions of seconds of whether they win or not. And sometimes we have to wait to see who won, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know who hit that pad first.
Yes, we've had a few races this season that. Our last home meet, we had our boys A relay and the lane right next to us. I can't remember what school it was, but their A relay. We were neck and neck the entire time, and that the whole pool, the whole entire room was just electric with everyone yelling, screaming, just getting hyped up, and just that like very fraction of a second touch at the end where we had to look up at the scoreboard just to see who won, and it's one of the coolest feelings ever to just see that in person.
Yeah, it is. So, hey, you're doing a great job. Really appreciate it. And best of luck going forward here with the rest of your season and coming up in postseason.
Thank you.
So, appreciate it, Max. And that's going to do it. Max Piper with Ponca City Swimming. I want to say thanks to Chris behind the camera, and that'll do it for today's Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff saying so long. And until next time, go Cats.